Hello everyone and welcome back for a new video. What kind of information does a job ad have to contain to be excellent? Which means that not only can it attract the best candidates, but it can also make them fall in love with it. What are the key points that every candidate wants to find in a great job ad? And finally, where can you find these quality job opportunities? In today's video, I will answer all these questions. Although it seems obvious, we have to start by asking ourselves, why is it so important today for all companies to search for, to identify and to select qualified employees and talent? Well, because talent is an essential differentiating factor for companies, a key point of competitive advantage. It's so important that the success of companies depends directly on their ability to attract, retain, and promote talented people. We live in a world that changes at the speed of light, and talent is a priority for every company more than anything else. In the long siege known as the War for Talent, employers need a new battle plan and a new mindset. And yes, actually companies are becoming more and more aware that to win this battle for talent, they not only have to work on a clear and effective employer branding strategy, but they also need to start treating talent as they treat their customers. So organizations need to try a bit harder than they had to in the past to attract top talent. This means that employer branding on one hand and candidate experience on the other go together when it comes to job offers. Companies can no longer afford the situation where job seekers feel talked out of responding to a job posting due to a negative experience with the recruitment process, especially in such a competitive market for top talent. So, what is the relationship between employer branding and candidate experience when we talk about attracting the best talent? So, in a few words, employer branding refers to how a company wants to be perceived in the job market, and the candidate experience is what actually happens to those people who apply to work in that company. Why is it so important to have a quick look at this relationship between employer branding and candidate experience? Because studies show that there is a considerable gap between the perception that companies have of the quality of the candidate's experience and the reality experienced by the candidates themselves. I quote from the research. Candidates say they are being deterred from completing job applications as a result of a negative experience with an employer's application process. 63% say they have been put off from completing their application at some point along the application journey. Employers are largely unaware of the weaknesses in their application journey and believe they deliver a better experience than they actually do, or than applicants give them credit for. So it's clear, isn't it? Companies believe they are providing a better experience than they actually do offer to candidates. This gap between employer branding and candidate experience is most evident in a specific point of the application journey, which is the job advert. Far too often, job ads are the weakest points in the path candidates take when starting their search for a new job. Far too often, the job ad is a turning point for candidates who decide or not to send their CV and apply to be part of that company. This is why the job ad plays a crucial role in this applicant journey. Not taking into account what candidates like the most and want to see in a job ad can be very damaging when it comes to attracting and retaining talent. Reed, one of the largest recruiting agencies in the world, tells us the 5 points that all candidates value very positively and want to see in a job ad. These are company culture, career prospects, an attractive salary, flexibility, work-life balance, and good benefits. According to Reed, these are the crucial points to ensure that job ads are attractive to the best candidates on the market. Now, beyond the research that it's always good to mention, I would like you to do a simple exercise as I list and describe the 5 points. First, ask yourself if you usually find these 5 points within the job ads. And second, to what extent these 5 points can influence your decision to apply for those positions. Let's cut to the chase. How would these 5 points affect your perception of the company in question? Would they make any difference? I mean, would you see the company as a quality workplace? Okay, let's get started with the 5 points. Company culture. Is there any clear information within the job ad about what is it like? What does it really mean to work in that company? What are the core values of the company? For many candidates or job seekers, finding an organization with the right culture is critical. Candidates want to know if a company has a culture that fits their values. They are also interested in knowing about the work environment or the management style. Is the company a respectable organization with good values and social responsibility? For example, what is the commitment to corporate social responsibility? This aspect tells a lot about the kind of impact that the company has on various aspects of society, and very often it's one of the main reasons why candidates will want to work for that specific company. If nothing about company culture is mentioned in the job ad, well, it can make it difficult for candidates to decide whether or not they are willing to apply for the job, whether or not they match the values, beliefs and attitudes upheld by the organization. See, just like people, organizations have a sort of personality, which is the company culture. Career prospects. Finding the right job is not only a lifestyle choice, it's about life itself. It's about your future, your self-esteem. It's about feeling that you are a person who deserves to be treated with respect. So, when it comes to finding the right job, the possibility of a career prospect, a career progression, a long-term career development plan are very important, and they will be even more important in the future. Salary is one of the key points for all applicants, but there is something just as important as salary, or sometimes more important than salary. So, guess what candidates will be looking for more and more in job ads? In the coming years, candidates will try to understand if companies will be able to provide training opportunities to learn the skills they need for the future, which means that making clear in the job ad the learning and the development strategy and the objectives is fundamental. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely that a candidate dreams of having no professional and career progress. So, does the company have an employee's training budget for specific courses, qualifications, reskilling programs? Are there any opportunities for employees to travel to other countries in the case of multinationals? To stay abroad? There are many ways to promote employees' well-being and job satisfaction. Being clear within the job ad that the company will provide these opportunities will not only increase the interest the vacancy receives, but will also motivate those who already work in the company and will increase employee retention. Salary. Is salary the most important consideration when choosing a job? Maybe not, But let's be frank about it. Money is also important. Whether it's a junior or senior position, salary is almost always the top priority for anyone looking for a new job. It may not be the only thing people look for and value in a job, but salary almost always ranks high in terms of priorities. Providing at least a salary range will help candidates get an idea of their suitability for the job. Putting in evidence a salary range within job ads will also reduce time and the cost of the recruitment process. It's as simple as that. Flexibility, work-life balance. Does the job ad mention anything about the concept of work-life balance? Well, these days, work-life balance can seem like an impossible feat, but it's important, very important. Is it mentioned in job ads? To what extent the company understands, values and respects the need of employees to have a life outside of work and switch off in their personal time? Maybe the job ad mentions just the opposite. For example, in a job ad I found a couple of weeks ago, an always-on attitude to work was required. So read the job ad carefully. It's full of very interesting info about the company. More about flexibility. What about the possibility to do remote work, have flexible working hours? And if it's not possible to do that, maybe the office is easily accessible, well connected, etc. Office location improves work-life balance as well, doesn't it? Benefits. Does the job ad say anything about company benefits? Perks and benefits have the potential to make a real difference to recruiting talented people, especially in a competitive job market. Benefits also help with engagement and retention. Whether it's meal vouchers, health and well-being programs, any kind of family support, gym tickets, a pension plan, a healthcare plan, the number of days of holiday, etc. Benefits are extremely important to company loyalty as well. So again, what kind of benefits does the company offer? Maybe some space to relax at work, internal gyms, healthy eating programs, special discounts in stores, etc. Why not include these benefits in job ads? Candidates will be aware from the outset if the company has any methods, plans or programs to improve employees' well-being. Right, now that we have talked about how great it would be if job ads had these 5 points, let's see what a recruiting agency does every day to make sure that companies and the vacancies they post on its recruiting platform have a high level of quality. Simon Sinek says that the most important quality for a leader to be an effective leader is courage. Because it's hard, it's very, very hard to be a good leader and take care of your people when everyone pressures you for quick and short-term benefits. If we transfer this concept to the world of recruiting, we can say that what it takes to create an excellent and quality job ad is courage. Courage to be transparent when no one wants to be transparent. Courage to truly take care of employees because they are the ones who make an organization successful. The platform I am talking about is called Worketic. It's located in Spain, and the people who compose it have lots of courage, as well as the companies that decided to be part of this project. The best way to explain what this platform is about is to leave you with their own presentation, which you can find on the Worketic website. By the way, the audio you will listen to does not belong to Worketic. It's a voiceover recorded by a professional for this video. It's in Spanish, of course, with English subtitles. I hope that many more platforms of this type will appear in the future. See you next time.
Bienvenido al portal de empleo bidireccional, transparente y ético. En WorkEthic nos comprometemos a publicar solo aquellas ofertas de empleo en las que las condiciones contractuales, de jornada y salario sean visibles, provengan de organizaciones en las que a todos nos gustaría trabajar, las que cuidan a sus empleados, les ofrecen beneficios sociales que todos queremos y tratan como a todos nos gustaría ser tratados. Procuraremos que durante el proceso de selección se informe sobre el estado de la candidatura en un plazo razonable y, en caso de no continuar en el proceso, ser informado del motivo. Vigilaremos que las organizaciones no descarten ni discriminen en ningún proceso de selección por tener 20 o 50 años, llamarse María o Antonio, tener hijos o gato o haber nacido aquí o en la China. Despídete de las ofertas de empleo fantasma, las que aparecen y desaparecen sin despedirse, las que a pesar de tener el perfil, nunca revisan la candidatura, las que te citan para entrevista de empleo sin decirte las condiciones. Para todas esas ya existen los otros portales. Sabemos que todavía nos falta mucho por desarrollar, pero no podíamos quedarnos en el horno esperando. Teníamos ganas de salir y empezar a poner los puntos sobre las íes. Así que gracias de verdad por tu gesto. Si conseguimos que WorkEthic crezca con buenas organizaciones y buenas personas, juntos podremos conseguir cambiar las reglas del juego.